4K or HD, OLED or QLED, 120Hz or 60Hz. If you're buying a new TV and scratching your head at all this jargon, then we've got a few handy tips for you to help you make your purchase. Hi everyone, I'm Craig from SwiftCase, the professional productivity platform, and we thought we'd put together a few handy tips to help you buy a new TV. First tip, resolution. Resolution is the number of pixels that appear on the screen. A higher resolution means that you can display an image with greater details, which tends to make it considerably better quality. In the current market, you tend to have two main different types of resolution, HD and 4K. Ideally, right now, you want to be looking at 4K sets rather than HD sets, especially as we continue the shift in standards away from HD towards 4K content. This is especially true as most 4K content is delivered now via the internet, and internet speeds are getting quicker, which means it's more consistent. A growing number of services are offering 4K, such as Netflix, Prime Video, YouTube, and the BBC. There are also 8K sets available, but I really wouldn't advise buying that right now. A lack of support, a high price point, and the inevitable superior revisions means that it's probably better to wait before investing in one of these high-priced TVs. Number two is HDR, high dynamic range. This is a brand new feature available on some 4K sets, and support is constantly growing. It enables the screen to display even more colors. There is a growing support for this feature, especially across streaming services such as Netflix and 4K compatible game consoles such as the Xbox One X. So if you're buying a 4K TV, you want to be having a look at a set that supports HDR, specifically HDR10. Keep an eye out for that. There's still a lot of confusion surrounding HDR, especially among some of the cheaper sets with some pseudo HDR features. So be sure to check you're getting the real deal before purchasing. And if you'd like to take advantage of the latest technology and enjoy a richer, more dynamic picture, HDR is probably for you. Number three is refresh rate. This is the number of times a picture is refreshed on the screen per second. Our current standard is 60 Hz, but you can also buy them with 120 Hz and probably even more. A higher Hertz means that the picture can appear smoother if the format supports it. This is particularly helpful for fast-paced content such as sports and video games. You don't need 120 Hz, but you can definitely notice the difference if you consume fast-paced content. Number four is screen type. So it's very easy to get lost in this. I mean, even I get confused on this. Most standard TVs are LED, LCD. However, you may have heard of OLED and QLED being mentioned too. Without getting too bogged down with the technical details on this, the way they are lit is dramatically different. LED, LCD screens use backlighting, whereas OLED pixels are illuminated individually, which means pixels can appear on and off to produce incredible levels of darkness. Basically, the pixels shut off entirely if something's completely black, and you can't get darker than that. Additionally, OLED screens tend to be much thinner and the pixels are closer to the screen surface. QLED, on the other hand, which is Samsung's answer to OLED, is similar in some ways. The technology uses quantum dots that in theory could emit their own light. However, the tech in current Samsung TVs work in a very similar way to the LED LCD TVs, using a backlight to pass light through these quantum dots to illuminate the screen rather than lighting them up individually. So the disadvantage of OLED and QLED at the moment is that they come at a high price in comparison to their LED counterparts. As such, it's probably worth assessing whether or not you need the luxury or not. Check it out in a store before you set your heart on it. To curve or not to curve? That is the question. Curved screens, are they the big thing or are they just another passing fad? Personally, I'm of the opinion that they are incredibly immersive, especially when it's used with the right type of content. So the likes of gaming is fantastic. It really immerses you into this world. But it really, really depends on your setup. If you're going to be sat directly in front of the TV, maybe there's not a huge amount of people watching it at once, the angles are all right, then you're probably really going to benefit from it. You know, you can really get immersed into that picture. Whereas if you're watching it from a slight angle, it just doesn't look as good. So consider getting a standard flat screen instead. Curved screens, again, just like OLED and QLED, they tend to come at a premium. So you tend to be able to get a cheaper version of the same model, which contains all the same technology, the resolution, the screen type, etc. But it removes some of the cost. So consider removing curved from the equation if costs are any issue. Next up, see it in person. I can't recommend this enough. If you've got the budget, you know which brand you want, you've got an idea in mind of which particular screen you're after, definitely go to one of the local stores to check it out. To be perfectly honest, it's what I tend to use them for now, is to try before you buy. I tend to just buy them online. But it really allows you to gauge the quality, the size, the aesthetics of it all, really, which again can make a big difference. So yeah, definitely consider going to the store, comparing models. Next, don't overpay. Again, kind of leading on from that point, when I tend to buy anything, I might check it out in the store, but I'm always going to see if there's a cheaper deal online. And there's plenty of ways that you can go about saving money on a big purchase like a TV. You can save hundreds of pounds by doing some clever shopping. Consider using a cashback website, which you tend to be able to get quite a big chunk off that. You might not get paid the money straight away, but a service like Quidco or Top Cashback, if you've got an idea of the store you're going to buy it from, they can provide considerable percentages back. On top of that, have a look for voucher codes. These shops have always got sales on. As high-end TVs can be very expensive, you can save hundreds of pounds on this. Consider using a website like PriceBuy, which allows you to see how the price has fluctuated, which store is offering the cheapest price on the TV, and then go from there. So why spend an extra 200 or 300 pounds when you don't have to? You could use that for a fancy new stand. The final point is extras and warranty. The final thing you should consider when buying your next TV are the extras. The hardware might be exactly what you're after. You've been to the store, you've seen it in person, fantastic, love it. But what if the set isn't compatible with your beloved sound system? Is the TV easy and efficient to use? Does the UI make sense? Is that a deal breaker for you? Are there extras as a part of that TV, maybe gimmicky extras? Like at Philips, for example, they have an Ambilight technology which illuminates the back of the screen, depending on the content on the screen. Is that sort of thing something you're after? Does that make it better than another screen? Consider all these things before opting for it. And of course, always consider getting extra warranty on a TV. I know shops such as John Lewis and Richer Sounds, they offer price matching if you find it at a similar price in another store, and also they provide 5 to 6 years warranty, which is fantastic. So I hope those tips have been handy for you in your quest for the brand new TV. It's always a very exciting time. I've been Craig McCarthy from SwiftCase, the professional productivity platform. If you've liked what you've heard today, don't forget to subscribe. Check out what we do at swiftcase.co.uk and follow us on social media at SwiftCaseUK. Have a great rest of the day and enjoy your new TV. Thanks.